welcome back, Mzansi, and I think it's about time we bring on an important conversation, put something very pertinent in the spotlight, and especially when it comes to our health. Now, Mzansi's sweet tooth is definitely under the spotlight I'm talking about, and it's startling because there's new research revealing just how much we are consuming. And spoiler alert, it's far more than we realize. Now, to unpack what this means for our health, we are joined by medical doctor and multimedia medical consultant, Dr. Darren Green. Doc, how are you doing this morning?
Fantastic. Good to be back with you.
Yeah, man, but also talking about something very startling.
Absolutely.
And I'm looking at these figures right now, and it's crazy. 2 to 4 times more sugar is what's being consumed in South Africa against the World Health Organization's recommendations.
Yes.
Bro, this is scary, right?
Well, ignorance is bliss. I think people aren't aware of the fact that they, are more than 4 times above the recommended amount. So, on average, what the recommendation is about 6 teaspoons of sugar a day.
Okay.
Now, if you don't know where the sugar hides in your choices throughout the day, you could take that to 24 teaspoons just like that.
Whoa.
I mean, I've got people that I've made cups of coffee for, and you ask them sugar, no sugar.
Yes.
And when they're with health cronies, they say, no sugar, please.
They start to show off.
But when they're working, they want 3 and 4 per cup. But the bottom line is, as a nation, we're consuming up to 24, 30 teaspoons a day.
Gosh, man.
And we should be having a total amount. But there's a lot of hidden sources, obviously.
And this is what I wanted to get into because these are numbers that we might be hitting without even being aware of it.
Not on purpose, exactly.
Talking about these hidden sugars that we find in certain foods that we aren't aware of, what are some of these things that you could possibly highlight that are kind of like, I don't know, like traps in a sense?
Yeah, so if you take the day, when you open your eyes, the first thing you think of, obviously, is breakfast.
Yes.
So if you think around breakfast, you think you're having a lovely, wholesome, grain-filled cereal. Cereals, to make them taste better, to accommodate the palate of the culture and the community you grew up in, are laden with sugar for flavouring. And then yogurt, for example, and another breakfast one.
Yeah.
Also, a hidden source, sweetened yogurt versus unsweetened. Oh. And so you continue through the different foodstuffs, and you get to a point where you look at things like fruit juice and fruit salad, which has a different kind of sugar in it called fructose or fruit sugar. And too much of that is also bad for your health. And a lot of people don't know that a glass of fruit juice, apple juice, orange juice, contains up to 10 to 12 teaspoons of sugar in one glass.
Yeah.
And I think that's the big thing we want to get out there and get people aware of.
But don't you think it's crazy that a lot of these foods that you're mentioning is almost associated with health?
Exactly.
Like have a fruit juice over a carbonated drink, as an example.
Think of the pictures.
Is the healthy choice, right? Have a wholesome breakfast.
The yogurt, the fruit salad.
But this is a crazy fallacy that we've fallen into then, right?
Well, the thing is, we've got an association and a peace of mind because of brainwashing of what a healthy diet should look like. But it's about the hidden sources. Obviously, the heavily processed and refined things, that we get in terms of foodstuffs, and we don't read the labels.
Yeah.
So just creating a bit of awareness that, listen, there might be some hidden sugar or even salt in things. Take a closer look and start educating yourself. Yeah.
Pay attention, Mzansi. Now listen, with all this being mentioned, I want to talk about something I'm seeing in the study here once again, because I've got some crazy facts here.
Okay.
The study found a link between sleep deprivation and increased sugar cravings. How is this exactly actually connected, and how would we say we need to become more alert and mindful about these things, especially now that we are realizing that it's almost everywhere out there to get our sugars, like hiding in all these products?
The thing that people crave most when they're going down and starting to feel a bit tired is something sweet. You'll notice they either crave something to pick up their energy level. So if you're suffering from chronic stress, which leads to insomnia, and you're not sleeping properly, your energy levels are low. What the body does is it tells you, get some energy by consuming some sugar, then you crave something sweet, whether that be chocolate, whether it be a fizzy drink, an energy drink, for example, massive source of hidden sugar as well. And that then obviously leads to the behavioral pattern of trying to up the energy. Instead of getting the sleep that's going to give you the energy back, you're clutching at different things in your diet to try and get that energy back. Loading on the calories that you're not burning as well, for that mismatch happens where obesity and weight management becomes an issue. What
sort of changes do we have and solutions are there for those maybe suffering and trying to still manage our blood sugar levels, which in these cases can spike and dip quite volatilely?
Absolutely. So generally, how fuel is supposed to be viewed and nutrition is you should be eating according to your levels of activity and the activity you do every day.
Okay.
You should be fueling your habits. So if you aren't requiring a certain amount of good energy in the form of your nutrition, you shouldn't be consuming lots of it, you know, so that balance.
Fueling for purpose is what you're
I
saying.
love that, I love that. So fueling for purpose is the first thing. The second thing is being aware of the hidden sources of sugar so that you know you don't exceed what is recommended for you, your body weight, your age, etc. And then obviously knowing also, along with that, that a multifaceted approach to managing energy levels and craving is important.
Yeah.
A good sleeping pattern. Exercise and activity levels in terms of turning around, burning the stuff that you are ingesting as well. That combined with monitoring your energy levels and your sugar control. You can actually test your sugar. It's a simple finger prick test that you can do just to know how you respond. Whether you're dipping a rusk in the morning in a cup of tea or coffee, how does that affect you? Does it make your sugar spike? Because when your sugar spikes, your poor pancreas is pumping out juice in the form of insulin, which is a hormone to lower the sugar level. And you can make your organs work so hard all the time just by the timing of your meals and the type of meals, for example, that they really get exhausted, and then you see the health complications developing down the line. So we've said quite a bit, and the information can be overwhelming, but the good news is that you can access the information in a freely available booklet on a website, www.mydynamics.co.za.
Sure. Well, this has been eye-opening to say the least, Doc. And I think for all of us, we need to educate ourselves, increase our awareness. And I can't thank you enough for providing us for a reason to do exactly that.
Fantastic.
And I think with this excess sugar conversation, it isn't just about empty calories. It's quietly fueling a rise in obesity, diabetes, and heart disease in South Africa. But once we recognize where those hidden sugars are, we can make smarter choices and protect our long-term health. Doc, thank you so much, man.
Fantastic.
I'm going to go get my health on after this for sure.
Enjoy.
And you should too, Mzansi.